Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the 23-week pregnancy update video, and sorry, I'm wearing the same shirt again, and what is with my hair? Anyway, the kids are napping. Actually, they're in bed because they didn't nap today. They just, never do what they're supposed to do. So I'm just exhausted. So let me get out my app with my notes of what I'm feeling. So basically, I didn't feel any symptoms. It was great for that first trimester because we didn't know we were pregnant. And then ever since then, it's like all the symptoms hit me at once. I am giving into every craving. I just, anything that I want, I can't deny myself. And so that's rough. I gained like 20 pounds. Before pregnancy, I was in pretty good shape. Now there's evidence that I'm not, so that's fun. But I've also just been super tired and exhausted because we've been staying up late, and it's our only time once the kids are finally down. It's like the only time we have to ourselves. So we do that and stay up later than we should, and my whole body just aches everywhere. Maybe it's the irregular sleep patterns, the change of the weather, I don't know, but it's definitely a symptom I'm feeling. I'm just so used to sitting on the couch so much nowadays that, now that we've been nesting and painting everything, my whole body hurts, my feet are swelling from being on them so much. My pelvic floor is fine, but...
What are you doing?
Hey, I am giving you the night off. I'm filming our 23-week pregnancy update.
Did I tell you could do that?
I'm just trying to look out for you and help you out a little bit.
Well, I believe that I am the pregnant one, so I have the symptoms.
Sympathy symptoms are a real thing. Husbands of pregnant wives all over America suffer every single day.
Just get out of here. Hey guys. Well, enough of my husband being completely insane, but in all seriousness, I think that sympathy cravings and sympathy symptoms are very real, and it has been really funny to watch things happen for the third time, and it's just, we thought we would make a joke out of it because it's a real thing. So yesterday I turned 23 weeks pregnant, and honestly, these weekly updates are kind of starting to feel like redundant because I've been keeping my hands so full and just busy, and there's lots to do and lots to think about. I just honestly, this sounds really bad, and I'm really sad for the people that don't experience pregnancy this way, but this is what I was looking forward to. Second trimester, I really start to forget that I'm pregnant, other than those underlying symptoms that are there all the time. And so for me, I just really, once I hit that second trimester, it's smooth sailing. I'm at that point where things just don't feel all that different on a weekly basis. But every time I read my Ovia app, I find things that I'm like, oh yeah, I am experiencing that. I just didn't notice, or I just didn't think. So maybe I'm just not very observant during pregnancy, but overall, I feel like I'm just in a really good spot right now, and I'm very thankful for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump right into the app updates, and then go into some specific symptoms that I'm dealing with, and then talk about kind of what to expect if you're also in this stage of pregnancy. This is my third time around, so I feel like I have a good perspective on how things can differ between every pregnancy, and also just knowing what's normal and what's not. So I figured if there's ever a baby to do pregnancy updates with, it's this one, because I feel like a lot of first-time moms hang out on YouTube because we don't know what the heck we're doing. So I would love to share some of my experience, even though I don't really feel all that experienced on a daily basis. Okay, so I'm starting on my Ovia app. The hand is looking so big. The foot He's the size of a bunch of grapes. So those are the pictures they show you every week. So it says 23 weeks pregnant. It says it's eating time. You're not the only one whose body is getting larger. Baby boy is about to start gaining the baby fat that he needs to keep warm after birth. That will give him the cute, chubby cheeks that you'll be kissing before you know it. So he is growing a lot right now. He's a bit over a foot tall, so 30.5 centimeters, the size of a bunch of grapes, and weighs almost 20 ounces or 1¼ pounds or 570 grams. Baby boy's skin is still very transparent and a bit red because of the veins and arteries that are developing underneath, but this will not last long. They are about to fill out. It says baby boy's face is fully formed now and just waiting for that fat to fill it out too. That's really sweet to think about, like that my baby's face looks how it's gonna look minus the baby fat. Like, how cute is that to think about? He's starting to kick like crazy, usually in response to the noises that they hear from the outside world. And your little one is busy constructing the blood vessels in his lungs that allow them to breathe air on their own once they're born. I do feel like I'm starting to feel a little bit more movement, but still not a whole lot. And for this being my third baby and having other babies to compare it to, it's really hard not to get kind of like worried. I just have like, I mean, I also am not like a small person, and so I do wonder if like he's just real lodged in there and like I just don't feel him much because I do have like belly fat. I don't know, that could be like a possibility, but also he's just it could be positioning, it could be where my placenta is, like there's just so many factors. Also babies do sleep a lot, and so he could just be resting and storing away energy. So I mean, at 23 weeks you should be feeling movement, but like I don't think the amount of movement that I'm feeling is like abnormal. I just think that it's abnormal for me because Ezra, my second born, was nutso in the womb, and I feel like having him to compare this one to right before I got pregnant with him, it's just, I feel like hard for me to like think about anything other than what Ezra was. And now it says, what's new with you? Those feet might be swelling soon. I have had some swelling in my ankles and feet, especially those days that I'm on my feet all day long. We have been painting the exterior of our home, and so I'm on my feet a lot, just like getting stuff done outside, and I go on walks a lot. I feel like just with having 2 kids currently, I'm always feeding somebody, and so I'm on my feet a lot, and they have been starting to really like show that. And I've never had any swelling with either of my other boys, so this is new for me. Although some swelling is expected, excessive swelling could be a symptom of preeclampsia, a condition characterized by high blood pressure and protein in your urine. I've never struggled with that, and my blood pressure is generally really healthy, so I don't think that that's going to be an issue. But if you are swelling, definitely keep an eye out for that and talk to your doctor about it. You might also start experiencing a tingling in the hands called carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel develops during pregnancy, usually goes away after delivery, so your healthcare provider may not do much to treat it. Although in some cases, he or she may recommend that you use splints or limit certain activities. So I've not had that this pregnancy. However, with my first 2 pregnancies, I had a little bit of that because I was a hairstylist, and so my hands were like always, you know, doing so many different things and like round brushing and cutting hair, and so I think that that triggered that. So it's probably just me doing I don't do less with my hands now than I did then. It's just I'm less like fine-tuned motor skills, so I don't know, but I do remember that being like pretty common. My massage therapist like really helped me with that when I was pregnant with my other 2. She worked on like rolling out my forearms and stuff, so I highly recommend like massage therapy, not just for relaxation, but like actual like deep tissue. It kind of hurts, it's not always fun, but that kind of massage paired with chiropractic, I believe fully in both of those practices, especially while pregnant. Other symptoms that might start popping up include forgetfulness and excessive snoring. No, sorry. My husband, that's another sympathy symptom because he's been snoring every night and I keep waking up to it. And when I finally am in that deep sleep and I wake up to snoring, Mama's mad. Like, I get so mad. I'm constantly like smacking him in his sleep. I mean, in a loving manner, of course. But I can't stand when he like wakes me up from a dead sleep snoring. Anyway, I have not been snoring that I know of. I do have forgetfulness. Braxton Hicks contractions might also start setting in soon. These practice contractions usually are not particularly painful. They're just a natural way that your uterus is preparing for birth. That's something that is different this week. I wanted to mention I have started having a lot of contractions. I definitely can link them to when I am overdoing it, and a couple of the days that we worked like a lot on our house this week, my contractions, I wouldn't even call them Braxton Hicks. They were like full-fledged contractions. I ended up with Ezra in the hospital at 33 weeks with premature labor. They had to like stop the contractions. I mean, I was there overnight. It wasn't like a huge deal, but definitely, I mean, they ended up putting me on a light bed rest after that, and I just, I know that that's probably something that my body deals with, especially having like consecutive children. So just Braxton Hicks are just like when your uterus like contracts and you can feel that it's hard, but like nothing is painful, nothing is like, nothing else changes. It's just like you'll notice randomly your stomach is hard. But full-fledged contractions are painful. For me, this last week when I was feeling them, I was having them like sporadically. They were not timed evenly, but I was having them like they did cause me some pain. And I noticed it in my like lower region. Like I started to feel like almost like pressure every time I would contract. And so a lot of times Braxton Hicks, like you can almost get away with like not even knowing that they're happening. But with contractions, I notice them immediately because they hurt, and like I can feel a lot of pressure and a lot of heaviness. But that also might just be like, if they are Braxton Hicks, it could also be doing the same thing, because like they could be Braxton Hicks for me, but I'm feeling more pain with them because this is my third kid and I have pelvic floor issues, like weaknesses. So I do wonder if it's just like Braxton Hicks, but I feel them differently than the average person because my pelvic floor is not in a good place right now. It's fine, I'm fine. So that is the like update as far as mom and baby. I wanted to try Baby Center, and apparently I've used this in previous pregnancies and totally forgot because both my other boys are currently in this app. So weeks 23, I really like this app because I actually might switch to this app. I really like it. So it tells you, I'm gonna just like see if I can screen mirror this. I really like this app because it tells you how many days you have left, and how long the baby is and how much he weighs every single week right at the top of, so that's like super easy to look at, like right at the top of the screen. And then you've got, you know, how many weeks you are, the baby size, your baby, and it actually looks realistic, which I love. And then you can tap these little like zoom in things and it will like tell you what's happening with like where you're zoomed in, which is really super cool. Talking about his ears, his eyes, and then his blood vessels and lungs. So that's super cool. And then also I love to see the size of the baby in me right now. So that's really special to see. It talks about all the same things, like swollen ankles, hands and face, like looks like a lot of the info is the same, but I just really like that. The layout of this, and then you can go to this week's reads and it gives you, you know, different articles that you might want to see and read when you're pregnant, which, you know, I don't usually read that stuff, but good stuff. So I don't know if I like that I can look ahead that easy, but yeah, overall, I think this app could be a really good option as well to add into what I look at on a weekly basis. I don't think that this one says anything different than my other app, but I might start with this app next week. So yeah, overall, I think that app could be really helpful too. It's called Baby Center. So between Ovia and Baby Center, they have a lot of the same information, but just they differ in their graphics a little bit. So just to mix it up, I might switch over to Baby Center, but that's another one that a lot of people typically use and it's free, which is also nice. It has been so beautiful out this week. We've had lots of outdoor time, which has given me vitamin D and just kind of lifted my spirits. I feel like I'm like so ready for this summer, although I'm a little bit scared of how hot it's going to get for me being so pregnant. This is my first summer pregnancy. Comment below if you've had a summer pregnancy. I just want to know your tips. Like, give me all the things that I can be trying to do. What are some things that you did that helped you like stay healthy and like hydrated and not super swollen? Because I know I'm gonna be outside a lot this summer just because I have 2 boys that love being outside. And so I don't know, do I just rock the whale body and go out in my tank top and tiny shorts and just survive with like a squirt bottle and just like keep myself wet? Like, I don't know, give me the tips. We still really don't have like a name picked out. We think we're gonna be doing a video soon of like, I'm gonna have Zach come up with like 10 names that he likes, and then I'm gonna have my 10 names that I like, and then we're just gonna like make a video without telling each other what our names are. It'll be interesting because I guarantee you we have different tastes in names. I don't know. Here's kind of the pattern of what's been happening is I will say a name and be like, I like this name, and he'll say a reason that he doesn't like that name, but then he won't bring any names to the table. So I'm like, you can't just pick apart the names that I say and then never come up with names that you like. So that's why I was like, let's make that video because I feel like that could be really fun, and maybe we'll figure out our baby's name in it. Who knows? We definitely have like a list of names that we like, but I also kind of like the idea of not naming him until he's born. So Zeke was born in October, and then Ezra was born in December, and so I've had 2 like cold weather babies, which it really stings for postpartum because then you're like trapped inside, and so it makes like postpartum depression and stuff a little bit more challenging. But I think the weather could be interesting this time around just with it being so hot. So anyway, this weekend we're gonna be working on our house a lot. I'm really hoping to finish up that project in the next week or 2. So stay tuned for that video because it's gonna be really fun, and we did lots of really cool time lapses that are extremely satisfying to watch because our house was like dark brick and blues, and now it's going to be just like white and black, and it's honestly like better than I could have ever imagined. So I will do my bum shot, but just a fair warning, I'm in kind of a weird shirt today, so, and I'm not gonna change for this one because I just don't care enough. I'm 23 weeks, so how many weeks does that leave me left? I have 16 weeks and 6 days. I feel like that sounds like nothing. I mean, that's like 4 months. I have 4 months, and he'll probably come early, so I have less than 4 months. Whoo, that's crazy. I feel like I have so much to do. I have not even started nesting when it comes to like his room and his stuff, because currently Ezra sleeps in his room and he's gonna be moving down to the basement with Zeke. So we haven't even touched his room yet. We're gonna be doing a whole nursery like room reveal at some point. I'm kind of considering waiting until after he's born to do his room, but that also sounds terrible. So we'll see what we decide with that. But I do have lots of videos coming that I'm excited to do. I'm gonna be doing a video that is talking all about like pregnancy must-haves that lean more towards minimalism, because I just don't love having a lot of things around, especially for temporary seasons. And then I'm gonna do newborn must-haves, but same thing, minimal. Newborn stage is so fast, and so we don't like to have a lot of like random newborn things sitting around. And then I'm gonna do like a registry haul, like the things that if you are a first-time mom, like you absolutely cannot have a registry that doesn't have these items on it. So I'm excited to do those videos because, like I said, third-time mom, I feel like I know the things that you need on a daily basis, at least for us. Everybody's different, but yeah, I'm gonna do my bump shot and then we'll close it out. This shirt is not a maternity shirt, so it's just kind of like awkwardly fitting. I guess I could just pull it off. Oh yeah, that looks better. He's definitely like come up. It's like really, this is all super hard now. I'm rocking my leftover Easter hair, and it's Thursday and Easter was on Sunday. It is crazy to see how big my bump is getting, and just like it makes it so real when you can feel kicks and just see the size of your baby growing and like just learn so much more about him every week. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed the silly intro that we did with Zach and his pregnancy symptoms, and we'll see you in the next video.